Good morning. How are you today? Please, come sit down. My name is Dr. Andrew Michaels, and I'm here to help you. No, I can understand that. It's never easy visiting the doctor, and your records show that you're due for a well checkup. I'm very concerned. No, I can relate. I don't like going to the doctor myself. Mm-hmm. No, I'm listening. We definitely want to take a note of that. That's very important. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the kind of thing we have to catalog. Keep a record of. Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it also says on your chart you've had some problems with your hearing. Is this true? Okay. Just breathe in and out normally. Okay. Everything sounds okay. Well, one thing I've noticed about hearing issues is sometimes there's, excuse me, some debris that needs to be dealt with. And I think we need to take a look at that. Do you mind? Okay. Well, let's see here. It seems like just normal earwax in your ear, so I'm not that concerned. Let me check the other side here. Just check the other side. Yeah, there's definitely a little more material in that ear. I don't know if I can get it out, to be quite honest. With this tool, I might have to try something different. Let me try and pull it out with these small tweezers. I know they look they're not very small in some respects, but they're not sharp. You don't want to stick anything pointed in your ear. Very dangerous. Yeah. See if we can get that off of there. Get that material out of there. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Basically, that's what you needed. Right tool for the job. Oh, now that's digging in a little bit. Oh, it's not gonna let go without a fight. Okay, there we go. Okay. That worked very well, didn't it? Yeah. Well, the last thing I would want for you is to have any discomfort with your hearing. So, what I'd like to do now is, I know I said nothing pointy and sharp in your ear, but now that we've got the material out of your ear, I'd like to just pull a few samples out. Okay? And that's what these are for. Yeah. You want to get in there very tightly and just get a small sample. So we'll just tear a little bit out. Oh, I know. I know. I'm very concerned myself. I have several friends in the London, Windsor area. And then, of course, I have some friends in different parts of England. Yes, I have some friends in and around Canterbury, the Kent area. And I have some friends in Windsor and Wigan. Wigham's farther north, but it's still very concerning. I think the main problem with any of these situations is when they over politicize it. Yes, it's a political problem, but it's also a cultural and social problem. And a lot of times politicians want to, for lack of a better term, jump on the bandwagon and inflame people for their own political benefit. And it's tiresome. Our safety officials, our mayors, our presidents and prime ministers have a duty to calm the people so that they can return to their normal routine lives best they can in these situations. There is no safe place to be, ever. You always have to be aware of your surroundings. I do believe that. But what's going on right now in England is just absolutely terrible. And I'm really fed up with it. And I honestly can't believe the people of England are putting up with it like they are. I think they would be a little more... Well, see, that's the problem with the press. The press portrays England as this more conservative, ready to fight group of people, but what they don't show you is when they show you those rallies of all these people ready to fight over a moment's notice over immigration and all this stuff, they bring the camera in very close, very tightly. And it makes it look like a lot of people when in reality it's just a few. These rallies are not as big as they present them to be sometimes, which is shameful. Very yellow journalism, if you ask me. Do I have an answer? No. I don't think anybody does. But I will tell you one thing. Enough's enough. There reaches a point where I think people just have had enough, and they just don't want to hear about it. They don't want to deal with it, and they're sick of it happening. And that's when they get people to be honest about it, to give up their own rights. You'll give up your own rights to curtail the rights of a group that's been marginalized or believes it's been marginalized. And when you do this, it breaks down your society, which is what they want. They want to break down the separation between the government and the people. And by taking away your rights, it makes it that much easier for the government to come down on people for the stupidest things. And that's the problem with this extremism. They don't know how to deal with it. It's so violent and so ugly and so frightening and shocking that what they do is it's like being in elementary school again. You know when you're in elementary school and little Johnny does something wrong. He does something pretty heinous, like stuffs a bunch of rags in the toilets and then overflows the whole toilet system in the bathroom. Well, instead of punishing little Johnny, because the other boys laughed, they punish all the little boys. They even punish the little girls, too, by limiting their access to the bathrooms, even though they had nothing to do with it. Instead of dealing with the problem, they punish those who really haven't had anything to do with it at all. Who are basically happy people going about their business. It's almost like you're complicit, and your government makes you feel like you're complicit, even though you had nothing to do with it. Now, they know who these people are. They know. They knew who the Boston bombers were. They failed to follow up on them, and they ended up bombing the Boston Marathon. There's stories that they knew that these fellows doing some of these most recent attacks in England and Manchester and London, the government was aware that they had traveled to countries for training or sought training in these countries. So you're going to tell me the government knew that these people were probably marginal, dangerous, extremists, had problems? They didn't follow up. But now I have to give up my rights because of that person? Well, that's not very nice, is it? I did my job. I went to work every day. I paid my taxes. I voted. But now you're going to take away my rights because you didn't do your job. See, it was your job to watch little Johnny when he was in the bathroom because you know little Johnny was feeling marginalized and excluded by the other kids, and you knew little Johnny wanted to get attention in a negative way. But instead of punishing Johnny, his family, and rooting out the problem, why he comes to school so upset all the time, you're going to punish me instead. Doesn't work. Never has. Never will. So, just something to think about, and I know it's upsetting. And I do believe they know who these people are. I believe they know exactly who these kids are that want to cause harm to others and blow up buildings and stab people that don't have anything to do with them, complete strangers. They just want to cause what they call terrorism, hatred, evil. But they haven't violated the law yet, so they're just on a list. I think it's about time the government quits chasing around people who obviously just want to go about their business. And they know who those people are too. Good tax-paying people. And they start knocking some of the coconuts off the tree that they know are out there trying to do harm. Now, I'm not saying anybody should lose their rights or get hurt, but they know who these people are. They know. Let me brush you off now that we've cleaned you up a little bit. Just an opinion. Everybody has one, don't they? I get very upset. Bothers me so much. I think of all the people that get harmed every year because people don't know how to get along. There is no easy answer. If somebody tells you there is, they're lying. One way to deal with it might be education. But I've noticed the governments of the world want to dumb down everyone. They don't like a intelligent voting population. It's quite hard to convince them that your stupid ideas are valid when you have an educated electorate. So education is the key to help and break down potential extremism. Maybe. We're going to lotion up those ears. They look awful dry on the back, and I think that you're going to have some problems. So I'm just going to lotion them up a little bit, if you don't mind. I have a paper towel handy in case the lotion gets to be too much. Well, why am I even talking about this? Because I get asked about it a lot. People write to me because they're scared. They're frightened. And they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. And they're scared. Oh, I think somebody's mowing. Can you hear it? Distance. Boy, they just love the mow in this neighborhood. Get that lotion in there. Some of that extra lotion off in those different areas. If I see that people are troubled, I want to talk to them. I want to tell them, well, anybody that cares wants to tell somebody that it's all going to be all right, isn't it? It's all going to be okay. Nothing's going to happen. You're going to be just fine. But we all know that's not true. Yeah. I saw a lot of people thinking it's cute to politicize what happened in London and Manchester, and they think it's cute to further muddy what really is going on. It's not about guns. It's about hurting people. It's not about God. If you ever thought somebody was far, far away from God, a person driving a truck up into a crowd and stabbing people until he's shot to death is about the furthest thing I can think of being away from God. But you can't tell some people that. You can't. They don't want to hear it. They want to hear that they're... And maybe this is the problem. They want to hear that their story is being told. That their objective is being reached. That their message is getting out. What message? Message that you like to kill women and children? That you're willing to kill somebody to prove your point? Okay. All right. Because that's what I see. I see that you're killing people. It's almost like the serial killer saying it's okay because the women asked him to kill them. You know, you open up your borders, you let people in, you let them have the same opportunities you have, and then they turn around and want to shoot your ass, run you over, stab you. There reaches a point where you gotta just say, you do know when you do that, you're removing yourself from the rest of society. You're not one of the good guys anymore. You're not Shane riding off into the sunset with a flesh wound. It's always a flesh wound, isn't it? No, you're a murderer. It's not funny. And it's not fun. I wish there was something else we could talk about today, but it's been weighing on my conscience, and I can see it's weighing on yours. There is no right answer. Well, you guys did this over here, so we're going to do this over here. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, tit for tat. It's karma. You did this here, so karma, this is what happened here, but you're forcing the issue, aren't you? You could try to educate people. You could try to talk to people. You could try to make peace with people. But instead you chose to stab somebody that probably doesn't even know what the hell's going on. And in 100 years, if you stabbed 100 people, those 100 people probably have no concept of why they're being stabbed. When they're laying there on the street going, well, what the hell, why did I get picked for this duty? They probably have no idea why. they were the ones that were being victimized. But you got your agenda across. You got your agenda across. I see it a lot with individuals. They feel they've been slighted. We're talking about individuals now. They feel like they've been slighted, marginalized, segregated, separated. Wrongdoing has been done to them. And they can't cope. So instead of looking inward, they look outward. Because it must be somebody doing this to them. There must be some boogeyman, some force, some external force out there manipulating the cosmos, nature. You know, bastardizing and perverting a fair system of justice and self-determination. Somebody is stopping that from happening. Now, you can choose to believe that and live that way. But in the end, you're left vacant, hollow inside. Well, you've pushed all your problems out. So when you still feel hollow and empty and ugly and angry and evil inside, well, you've just pushed all of that guilt and all of that reasoning and all of that reason to external reasons why, but yet it's still inside you. If that's the case, it might be time to look inwardly at what is actually causing these continuing evolution of problems in your life. Maybe it isn't those people who are different that live down the street. Maybe it's right here. Now, I'm not making excuses. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with it all. I'm fed up with disgruntled workers, disgruntled students, disgruntled... Everybody's got a beef. Nobody can be happy anymore. I think back on Sandy Hook. And when that happened, a man from Youngstown, where I was born, where I grew up, he got on YouTube and he said they should take him and just throw his body out on the highway and let people run him over. Oh yeah, this is a real relaxing video, isn't it? Well, listen though. He said they should just take him out in the street, run him over, let people run him over till his bones and his body are just spread out into the dust, into the cosmos, till he's wiped off the planet. And I liked what he said. Somehow it made sense in a strange way. But give me a minute. You've forfeited who you are when you take this tack. When you go down that road of harming the innocent, even if you think you're justified. Okay. They're dropping bombs where you're from, but you came here. So you think if you kill some people, it's going to justify what went on over there. Now, how's that work? How's that going to make it better? Now they hate you even more. And don't tell me about God. Don't tell me about God. Can you agree with me on this? Can you agree on this with me, that when you're killing someone with your bare hands in the street, you couldn't be any further away from God? He's not there. He's not there. If somebody's telling you that, they're a liar. Man, that's a sinner. It's wrong to do what those people do. All of them. From Sandy Hook to the nightclub shooting in Orlando, to the disgruntled employee in Orlando just the other day, to everything that's been going on in Manchester and London and Paris and other places. It's all wrong. But you told them it was the will of God. Oh, there's a special hell for people that teach the lie that's somewhere in there. God is here. God is here, looking down on us. And you will be judged. You will be judged by God for what we do here today. We do it in the name of God. I know it wears you out, doesn't it? It wears you out sometimes. But we've got to keep going. We don't have a choice. We have to keep going. And hope for better days. And they'll come. Things have changed. I see things changing, whether people want to believe it or see it or not. I see some things changing. I see people starting to come around. Maybe not a lot. Maybe a little. But I see people coming around. I hear different voices. I hear voices of people saying, I didn't want to sit by him because I knew he was being radicalized. I didn't want to associate with him because I was afraid if I didn't agree with him, there would be reprisals. It may be small. It may not be a lot of voices, but they're out there. And it's slow. Change is slow, but it can come. So don't give up. Okay? Don't give up hope. Started off with a little bit of a medical role play, and we ended up on a moral talk, an ethics talk, trying to reach out to you. Because people write me because they're scared. People write me because they don't know what to think and what to say, what to do, because they're being told every day, bombarded, what to think, what to do, what to say, what to think. And they know it's wrong. They know the voices out there are not telling them what they need. But I've only ever told you one thing, and that's think for yourself. If you don't know the answer, that's okay. If you don't know a solution, that's okay. It's okay not to know what to do. It's okay not to have a solution. It's okay not to have an answer. We're all human. We're all flawed. And we're all fallible. We all make mistakes. It's okay to be scared. And it's okay to be angry It is. It's okay to be very, very fed up and angry. But what we must do is we must go forward. We must find a way to make a change. If it comes to making a new friend, telling somebody you saw what they did and you don't like it and you've had enough, we've got to move forward. You can't give up. Trust your instincts and trust your heart. And think for yourself. If you can't handle it, turn off the tube. Turn off the news. If you can't handle it, and there are times I can't handle it, I can't look at it no more. I cannot look at it no more. Double negative. Turn it off. Turn it off and read a book. Turn it off and study a new menu item, a recipe for tomorrow's dinner. Turn it off and do that spring cleaning you've been putting off, that home repair that you want to work on. Turn it off and put on your favorite music. And you might say, well, tuning out, turning your back to it? No. It's not letting it own me. I'm not going to sit here and live in fear. I'm going to grab my wife and I'm going to dance. I'm going to kiss my kids on the forehead. I'm going to look at their homework. I'm going to help them with their schoolwork. I'm going to help clean up the dishes after dinner. I'm going to leave that stupid thing off. And I'm going to spend time doing something that's productive. I'm going to put some love and some hope back in the world. I'm going to have a couple beers and have a good time and have a couple laughs. You're not checking out. You're doing what you can to make it a better world for you and for your family around you and your friends. Because that's what we need right now. We need to help each other. And we need to let those people know that if you want to not be a part of our society, we don't want you around either. Because we're too busy taking care of our own. I'm too busy taking care of mine. I don't give a crap what you're doing. I don't have time for you. I don't have time for your policies and your politicizing and your politics and your bullshit. I'm going to take my dog and go get him an ice cream cone. And I'm going to tell my politicians, you don't have the right answer because you're an idiot. That's why you're a politician. You can't make it anywhere else. And curbing my rights to get at theirs isn't going to answer this problem. And I'm going to vote accordingly. And we need to do that. We need to start thinking about these things. It just makes me so sad, but that's the world we live in. George Orwell said, we're going to have these cameras and they're going to be spying on us to prevent us from overthrowing the government because the government was going to fear us. It's actually the exact opposite. I may have mentioned this in a video before, and I'm going to end it here. It's actually the exact opposite. We live in a world opposite of what Orwell predicted in 1984. The government has to put cameras up and all this crap and all this security and all this bull crap and all the locked doors to protect us from ourselves. To protect us from ourselves. If you'd have told somebody 20 years ago everybody has a camera on their cell phone in the future, they would say there would be no more crime because people would just take pictures of each other. When they're committing the crime, they would take a video. Now we have the video that we never had before, and everything's even muddier. Everybody has an opinion on that video. Video can fool you. Video isn't always what it appears. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to think. If you know, you let me know. If you know the answer, you let me know. I'm sure there's those of you out there that know exactly how to fix all this, and you let me know. Because I don't. But I do know when this camera goes off, I'm going to go up and I'm going to help cook dinner. I'm going to watch some funny shows with my son, and I'm going to enjoy my wife and my daughter's company this evening. I'm going to concentrate on things I can work on, I can build on, things in this world I can make better. And that's what I choose to work on. And focus my love, hope, and my duty as a human being on. And I hope you do too. Think about it. Just something to think about. If you know in your heart it's wrong, then it's wrong. Remember that. Think for yourself. And don't do what I do. Do what's right for you. And until I see all of you again, please have a most blessed day. Okay. Bye-bye.